All Progressive Congress on Wednesday ridiculed the efforts of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to obtain the academic records of President Bola Tinubu from the Chicago State University, United States, describing it as an expedition in futility. Okay, the ruling party said it had nothing to fear, as the president had always boasted that he had nothing to hide. Right, now let's see. This came because this has a lot to do with national life. Will I say it concerns the number one citizen of Nigeria? So that's why we need to make further sense from this story. It says this came as Judge Jeffrey Gilbert of the United States Court for Northern District of Illinois ordered Tinubu's alma mater to provide all relevant and non-privileged documents to the applicant Atiku within 2 days. Documents sought by Atiku through his counsel Angela Liu includes the record of admission and acceptance at the university, dates of attendance including degrees, awards and honors attained by Tinubu at the university, among others. In spite of the development, the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Duro Meseko, said ruling party was not bothered by the court order, stressing that the president has nothing to hide. He said the president has always said over and over that he has nothing to hide. His records are there for all to see. Chicago University has also written severally to say that this man is from us. Nothing has changed. There is no cause for alarm. It is an expedition in futility. All right, that's how far we can go on that story. In case you're asking why did we go this far, this long to extract this to make sense of the stories, because he's the number one citizen of Nigeria. All right, that's Mr. President we're talking about here. So now, in case you're asking yourself a lot of questions, at least we've been able to incentivize you, further to know how. In case you're in an argument, you can be able to say this and this was actually the fact. Now, let's move away from Mr. President's story and head straight to this one that says misconduct. That is stressing on misconduct. Ondo Assembly begins process to impeach Deputy Governor. Wow. Okay, let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says the Ondo State House of Assembly has commenced the process of removing the state deputy governor, Mr. Lucky Ayedatiwa, over alleged gross misconduct. The House alleged that the embattled deputy governor was involved in some acts of gross misconduct while in office as the acting governor. Okay, now you know that there is fire on the mountain for the deputy governor of Ondo State. That's how far we can go on that story, because we have a lot to extract for your listening pleasure this morning. Now, this one says Miami put four past Toronto despite Messi's early exit. Okay, this one is on sports. In case you're interested in sports, this one is for you. All right, now let's come back and continue extracting some domestic news, because that's the one that concerns us the most. This one says that Nigerians have no reason to be poor. All right, it's a good one. It's coming from Mr. President. He says Nigeria has no reason to be poor. So let's see what he's doing about it. Let's see if the first paragraph of that story will inform us on some positivity, because it sounds so positive. It's coming from Mr. President. This one says that President Bola Tinubu has encouraged Nigerians in the U.S. to rise above failure by having a change of mindset for success in all their endeavors in life. Tinubu, who gave the advice at the presidential town hall meeting with Nigerians in the diaspora on Wednesday in New York, noted that Nigerians had no reason to be poor. Okay. I pray that Mr. President will bring it home, reflect it in every aspect of our national life, and there's a lot of expectations from Mr. President. Nigerians are expecting a lot, and we want to see something different from the past administration, and we hope that Mr. President brings it. All right, now let's move further. This one says Nigerians, we've read this one earlier on. He said this one is on an NCDC. NCDC confirms 2,860 cholera cases, 84 deaths in 8 months. Wow, okay. It's alarming. Let's see. In 8 months. Let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. A total of 84 deaths have been recorded from cholera, while 2,860 people are suspected to have been infected with the disease from January to August 27, 2023, according to the data from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention. All right, that's how far we can go on that story, and I hope the necessary authorities start doing something to make sure that they curb the spread of this particular disease, cholera. Now, let's move away from that one and head straight to this one, and it says Oyo Osun Custom generates 47 billion naira in 9 months. Let's see if it's this year or last year. 9 months from January to September, that's already 9 months. But let's see if it's this year actually before we can be able to upload. Now, it says that the Oyo State, Oyo Osun Area Command of Nigeria Customs Service has said that it collected 47.4 billion naira revenue between January and September. That's this year, according to a statement issued by the command's public relations officer Kayode Way on Tuesday. The outgoing customs area controller of the command, Babajide Jayoba, said it's recently during the handing over ceremony at the command in Ibadan, Oyo State. Okay, he said the command made various seizures of prohibited goods with a duty-paid value of 308 million naira in the last 9 months. Rajayoba added that the command under his leadership surpassed the revenue target of 2022. Okay, that's how far we can go on that story. It means that everything that we are hearing as regards to that revenue was achieved this year. And it surpassed last year's revenue. That's the story that we want to be hearing. Progress coming from different states. If the state will start rising up to the occasion, start developing, start generating funds, they will start investing, start solving some of the problems that comes from that emanates from poverty, and to start creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, then there will be less job for the federal government, the government at the center. That's what I think, and that's what some critics are saying too. Let the state rise up to the occasion. Let local governments that is very closer to the people rise up to the occasion. Let all the tiers of the government start working in this struggle for nation building, so that we'll get our country back on track again. Now, let's move away from that one and head straight to this one that says police declare 24-hour curfew as tribunal sacks Kanu governor. Let's see, this one happened just like yesterday, and let's see what it means. What the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says the Kano state government on Wednesday declared a 24-hour curfew in the state to avoid a breakdown of law and order following the sacking of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of the new Nigeria People's Party by the state's governorship election petition tribunal. Security was beefed up across the Kano metropolis on Wednesday, shortly after the ruling of the three-man election tribunal led by Justice Oluyemi Akinto Osadebe declared the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Nasiru Gawuna, as the winner of the March 2023 governorship election held in the state. Right, that's how far we can go on that story. If you're interested, try and visit any newsstand closest to you and do justice to that particular story. All right, now this one says Lagos Road collapses after downpour. Residents groan. Let's know the part of Lagos Road that this particular story is talking about, and let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says a section of the road linking the Koto roundabout to Ejigbo and other neighboring communities in Lagos State has collapsed. Punch Metro lands that the road just by a canal caved in after the downpour on Saturday, September 16th. The damage had since left motorists plying the route in palpable fear over an imminent accident resulting from a total collapse of the section. All right. That's how far we can go on that particular story. If you're interested, remember that we are still on the Punch newspaper this morning. Now, this one is on the Mohbad story. The story of the moment, the saga of the moment. Mohbad's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice. All right, what does it have to do with? Is it from? All right, let's see what the first paragraph of that story has, because I see that it's generating a lot of interest from different corners of Nigeria. Now, let's see. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, said on Wednesday that Omowumi, wife of the deceased musician Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, visited him to demand justice for her late husband. The Punch Metro reports that the late musician, who passed away on September 12, 2023, was buried a day later. Following his death, there have been calls for investigation to unravel the circumstances behind the musician's death. Speaking with Punch Metro in Abuja, Falana noted that he visited the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Idowu Owohunwa, adding that Owohunwa had been assured that investigation had been launched. All right, that's how far we can go on that story. As regards to, but the one I'm actually trying to figure out is what Ekiti has to do with this particular story. But it's okay. At least there is an ongoing investigation, and Femi Falana is now involved. The wife of the deceased has called the attention of Mr. Femi Falana's son to be able to help in getting justice for the deceased young man. Now, that's how far we can go on that story. And let's see what this particular one have for us. It says PDP may lose Edo over Shaibu's conduct, says group. All right, let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says stakeholders in the Edo Central Senatorial District have accused the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, of desperation to succeed his principal, Governor Godwin Obaseki, saying the situation may make the ruling People's Democratic Party lose next year's governorship poll. Speaking on behalf of Edo Central people, the convener of Eshan advocates for good governance, Bartholomew Okodo, called on Shaibu to back Obaseki's desire to do the right thing by giving the ticket to a candidate from the region. All right, that's from Asian region. All right, I think is a sharing formula. If he brings a lasting peace and he's been working out, why don't the people of Edo State continue in that state instead of changing? I know that some parts of some parts of the country, like Enugu people, they have this rotation formula that they imbibe, and like they move it to this place, move it to that place to make sure that it rotates round. And when there is inclusivity, everybody will be happy for it, isn't it? All right, that's how far we can go on that story. And now, this one is on strike. It says NLC ultimatum ends today. FG allays fear. Right? It's still on the strike issue. And let's see. So we can bring it to your notice. It says hours to the end of the 21-day ultimatum issued by the organized labor. The federal government on Wednesday said it has no fears about a potential economic shutdown. This is despite last Monday's parley being deadlocked as both parties failed to see eye to eye on the labor union's demands over the removal of petrol subsidy. I don't think there is any problem. We don't have any fears about some of the things that labor puts on the table, and also the suggestions and the package of the federal government. The Minister of Labor, Simon Lalo, told State House correspondents after a private meeting with Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, Wednesday evening. All right, now let's see if it looks as if Mr. Lalong, Honorable Minister of Labor, is on top of it, and let's see what happens. But all we know is that the ultimatum ends today. Let's hope that the needful is done to avoid any shutdown of total shutdown, because it's going to be total shutdown of the economy. Now that's how far we can go on the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's head to the Vanguard newspaper and see what Vanguard newspaper have for us this morning. It says Oshodi Apapa Expressway gridlock, commuters groan as Shomolu Port police look on. Okay, let's see what the first paragraph have for us this morning. It says the horror caused by the perennial Oshodi Apapa Express gridlock continued yesterday, with the traffic now stretching to the second Rainbow bus stop. Commuters wailed as a task force set up by the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to clear the traffic, and Ports police appeared helpless. More than 1 week ago, Governor Sanwo-Olu directed the Lagos State Special Committee on Apapa traffic to clear the gridlock within 24 hours. So far, the directive has not been carried out. Meanwhile, truckers under the aegis of Council of Maritime Truck Unions and Association, COMTUA, have commended Vanguard newspaper over its investigative report detailing its thoughts points along the Oshodi Apapa and environs, describing it as true and verifiable. Right, that's how far we can go on that particular story. If you're interested, remember that we are reading it out for your listening pleasure right there in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now, that's how far we can go on that particular story. Mohbad. This one is still on the case of Mohbad. The story of Mohbad. It says the celebrities, youth, fans storm Lagos, Osun Delta as protests enter day 2. All right, let's see what people are clamoring for justice for this young man, and it simply means eyebrow are raised. That's one of those things. It stirs emotions, and this actually is the resultant effect. Let's see if justice will be served at the end of the day. Now, that's how far we can go on that story. This one says how failed politicians, churches ganged up against Buhari, is coming from Mr. Femi Adesina. Let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says Mr. Femi Adesina, spokesperson to the former president Muhammadu Buhari, yesterday disclosed that the last administration suffered a lot of propaganda due to the number of enemies around him. He alleged that some of the enemies that ganged up against Buhari included defeated members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), a section of the church who felt bad because a Christian incumbent president was defeated, and some Buhari loyalists whose expectations was never met. All right, now that's how far we can go on that story. You all know Mr. Femi Adesina, the former spokesperson, media advisor to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, let's get straight to this one that says Army has strategies to end security challenges. It's coming from Chief of Army Staff. Let's see what the strategy is. This morning, if it's a cherry one, then God bless us. Now, this one, it says the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Torid Lagbaja, yesterday reiterated the commitment of the Nigerian Army in tackling the security challenges currently facing the country. Now, he, however, sought a symbiotic relationship between the military and the media to enhance internal security operations in the country. Now, he says the Chief of Army Staff said this during the Nigerian Army Civil Military Cooperation quarterly media chat held at the Officers' Mess Agodi in Ibadan. All right, General Lagbaja, who was represented at the event by the General Overseer Commanding GOC of 2 Division Nigerian Army General Bamidele Alabi, said the Nigerian Army will continue to train and equip its forces to carry out kinetic operations in the compliance with the approved rules of the engagement and code of conduct for various theaters within and outside the country. All right, that's how far we can go on that story. But I really wanted to know the strategy. That was what I was actually reading to find out, trying to find out from that particular story. But it's okay since it's a promise and it's coming from the Chief of Army Staff. I believe that very soon, let's be optimistic that very soon that things will start taking shape. Now we have this one that says 63rd birthday. Remi Tinubu has etched her name in gold. This one is coming from Shawolu. I think he's talking about the First Lady's birthday, right? And we wish the First Lady a happy birthday this morning, and we believe that this will herald a new beginning for Nigeria and the women folk. All right, you have a role model to look up to, and try as much as you can to support your husband to reach his zenith too, just like the First Lady has done to Mr. President. Cheer him up, motivate your husbands, try as much as you can to be a partner. All right, a real partner, a motivator as a wife. All right. Okay, now that's how far we can go on that particular story. This one says poor leadership, Nigeria's whale of Jericho. Poor leadership, Nigeria's whale of Jericho, Abaribe, Akpata, Coal, others. All right, now can I make any sense from this particular story? That's what I'm trying to do. Let me see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says, unless Nigerians take the bull by the horn and join political parties as members, they would have no other choice than having bad leadership, which has become the country's wall of Jericho foisted on them. That is a good point right there. That is a good point. Now, if you keep complaining and you don't want to join politics, you said it's a bad game, it's a dirty game, you condemn politics in its entirety, and then you said it's a dirty game, it's a dangerous game, but when the time comes, you enter night bus to Lagos. Is that one not dangerous as well? It is dangerous. So please join politics. Join politics and be the change you want to see. Try start administering changes in smaller scales. Before you know it, to get to a larger scale. All right, that's what I'm saying this morning. Now let's move away from that particular story and head straight to the Guardian newspaper this morning and see what they have for us. This one says non-passage of CNI bill 15 years after threatens $77 billion telecom industry. All right, now let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. It says Nigeria's $77 billion telecommunication sector, which currently houses 34,862 towers, 127 to 294,000 base transceiver sections BTS, and 96.198 kilometer fiber optics is endangered as a result of the absence of laws backing infrastructure safety and deployment. Okay, let the law be enacted so that our this particular sector of our economy, talking about telecommunication, will be stable. And when it's stable, it will be more robust, to entertain more job opportunities for our people. Now, that's how far we can go on the Guardian newspaper. Let's head straight to the Nation newspaper and see what the Nation newspaper have for us this morning. This one is on planned strike. NLC keeps federal government in suspense. All right, let's see what the first paragraph of that story have for us. Remember that we are now on the Nation newspaper. All right, now on the Nation newspaper, as regards to this headline that we read out for you, it says, although the federal government has given 2 billion each, right, let's see. Okay, I'm having a little bit technical hitch right there, and it's gonna make me to leave the story there, but at least this is the best. Okay, at least that there is something in the offing, but that's how far we can go this morning on this readout session. And in case you're interested in that particular story, all right, you have to go and visit the Nation newspaper and do justice to that story. Now, remember that Mr. Simon Salami is right here in the studio to do justice to some of the stories that we read out for your listening pleasure. Let's see what the views of Mr. Simon Salami is this morning. Mr. Simon Salami, good morning to you.
Very good morning to you, Mr. Ekene, and our super citizens, listeners.
All right, we have a lot to talk about this morning, and let's go straight to this one as regards to Mr. President's academic records. APC tackles article as U.S. court grants ex-vice president's request. I think this will bring a closure to this. Mr. President, if the court's request is granted, it means that Mr. President's records of academic qualifications will be in the open, and it will put a whole lot of naysayers to rest. What do you think?
Well, I think the request for the academic documents of Mr. President is in order. It's a public figure. Is the president of Nigeria, and everything about him is no more in secret, because since we have chosen to come into the arena or enter the kitchen, you should not be afraid of it again. But if Mr. President has nothing to hide, which I believe he doesn't have anything to hide, then there won't be any problem. And given what the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of All People's Congress told Nigerians as reported in the Punch, that there is no cause for alarm. Let us hope and pray and believe that there is no cause for alarm. But I think there should be an end to litigation.
All right, I think there should be an end to litigation. All right, so that the people in the office will have enough time to deliver the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. That's what I think Mr. Simon Salami means this morning. Now, let's move straight to this one that says that is on the strike, and it says that the NLC ultimatum ends today. FGLA sphere. What does it mean? What does this actually mean for us, to us, or something?
Well, I know that both the federal government and the Labour Congress have the interest of Nigerians at heart. I want to believe, because we need not be told again that this is the only country we have, and we should not be seen to be doing things directly or indirectly that will hamper the progress of this country. We've been saying this here, that strike and strike and strike is not the way to go again. There are other intelligent and very creative ways of engaging people constructively. I don't want a situation whereby Nigerians will now begin to think that Nigerian Labour Congress, being a partisan organization now, a Congress now, because it is known that they own Labour Party, and it is clear that Labour Party lost the election, given what we have heard from the courts, because the court, as we know, is the legal authority on that, and they have come up with the verdict that Obi, the candidate of Labour Party, lost the election, although he has gone to the Supreme Court, and he has every right to do that. But even at that, the Nigerian Labour Congress is Nigeria Labour Congress and not a party Labour Congress. They should act and behave responsibly, and they should do this in the interest of Nigerians. What Nigerians need now is no more strike. Strike will worsen the hardship. Why saying this? We feel and we believe that the government too should be alive to its responsibilities, because there is hardship in the land.
All right, but I really want to get from another perspective. Is it not their job as a pressure group to put pressure on the leadership at some point? Maybe, what do you think? I think if there are people have been clamoring, why can't NLC respond to some of the sufferings of the people? And they are doing it. So why is it channeled towards a partisan something?
Well, it is clear that NLC has interest in what is going on. NLC, they have not denied the fact that that Labour Party is an affiliate of Nigerian Labour Congress. We all know this. What we are saying is this:
are people not suffering?
Later, I don't know whether you want to engage me or you want to ask questions and you want me to review it.
No, sure.
I've said this times and times over that there is hardship in the land. Even though there is hardship in the land, we need to have a country first. And if we want to have a country and we want to grow our economy, strike on a daily basis is not the way to go. There are other means of engaging the government, and we feel that NLC should not do things in such a manner that they will be damn too partisan that Nigerians will now write them off. For example, now TUC is no more part of them.
Yeah.
If TUC that is supposed to be part of NLC and engage the government now says that they are not part of this struggle again, it means something is missing. Let them put their house in order. It's a pressure group, we know. They're supposed to fight for the workers, and not all Nigerians are workers in the sense of saying that they be members of NLC. They should be seen to carry Nigerians along and not engage in partisanship. To some people now, they are partisan.
All right, to some people they are partisan. That's the word of Mr. Salmon Salami this morning. Now let's head straight to this one that says Buhari's security architecture through nepotism. Chidoka alleges. But I really wanted to take it from the perspective of Mr. Adesina and what he said as regards to the past administration, that some people sabotaged the efforts of the former presidents. What would you say, and how will you react to this?
Well, I will be very, very circumspect in reviewing what my good friend Femi Adesina said. Well, what do you expect Femi to say? Femi was part and parcel of that administration, and history is about to give its verdict on the administration. But if what most Nigerians are saying about the administration is anything to go by, the administration did not all due respect, satisfy the yearnings of Nigerians. And I'm putting it mildly. Well, now apportioning blame and looking for scapegoats and now giving excuses. Well, President Buhari came, did all he could. All is now left for history. He will definitely keep a date with history. How history will record him, time will tell.
Okay, time will tell how history will write the story of the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, talking about General Muhammadu Buhari. Now, let's see. This one says misconduct is on misconduct. Ondo Assembly begins process to impeach deputy governor. A lot is coming. We're hearing a lot from Ondo State, and the big masquerade is back, and there seems to be fire on the mountain. What's your take on this?
Well, the Ondo debacle is another it's another reminder of the fact that democracy has not yet taken firm root in Nigeria. A situation whereby the incumbent governor sees the deputy governor as a threat, and that he should either be sidelined, he should either be caged, or he should be seen as they are seen. Spare tires still leaves a sour taste in the mouth. As we speak, the governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, is said to be administering the state from Ibadan, his house. I don't know. I mean, not a lawyer. I don't know whether it is right to administer a state from wherever you are, even though it is a digital age and ICT and all what have you. But what we are still saying is this: there is the need for the governors and the deputy governors to work together in the interest of that state. This cat and mouse game between most governors and deputy governor is now becoming worrisome, and this is not good enough.
Right, but what about what the critics are saying as regards to the way the deputy governor carried himself when the governor was not around? I think that's what is raising all this dust, because and the forthcoming election too, the man feels like he's the one that's supposed to be presented as the new candidate, as a candidate of the APC, and then all of a sudden the governor is somehow not really satisfied how he handled administered leadership in his absence.
To me, I think everything still boils down to the fact that democracy has not taken firm root. To all intents and purposes, it is not the governor who should determine who the next governor should be. It is the people. But we know that it is not so in this country. For example, look
but the governor will always have an anointed candidate. That's the way it is.
There is nothing bad in having an anointed candidate. Whether your anointed candidate will win or not should be determined by the people.
Yeah.
That is the point we are trying to make. Look at what is playing out in Kogi State now. The same thing. The deputy governor who thinks that he has been loyal, he has been this, he has been that, feels shortchanged. And I think that yes,
even in Edo too.
Yes, Phyllis Shuaibu and Obaseki. Well, you see, there is nothing bad in the incumbent governor having an idea of who he wants to supplant him or to take over from him. That should end there. Whether that will come to pass or not rests heavily on the people. But a situation whereby a governor thinks that he and only he should determine and can and should determine who the next governor should be, as make it is a mockery of democracy. Then it only means democracy is not working, if that is the order of the day. And I pray not. I want a situation whereby democracy will be what is supposed to be: government of the people, by the people, and for the people, in which the people
decides who
rule, that the sovereignty resides in the people, the power of the people to determine who should preside over their affairs. This is what Nigerians are clamoring for. And again, do you know that if an election is seen by the people to be free, fair, credible, and transparent, they won't go to court?
Of course, they won't. They will even tell you, why are you going to court? They defeated you. No, he defeated you. Of course. All right, that's how far we can go on that particular line of thought. Now, let's have this last one before we open up our phone lines. It says police declare 24-hour curfew as tribunal sacks Kanu governor. What does this mean now? Like, the governor, what does it mean? Let's get your views.
You see, Kano State is a peculiar state. Peculiar in the sense that Kano State is such a state that you cannot take them for a ride. They know what they want, right from the time of Aminu Kano, and they always carve a niche for themselves. They don't always go the way of everybody because they have a mind of their own. Well, the tribunal has passed its judgment based on the unsigned, unstamped, undated, allegedly anyway, and removing such numbers of ballot papers leaves the stage for Gawuna. Well, that's not the last. The governor will still remain the governor. He still has the right to appeal, and I want to believe he will appeal. And I plead with the people of Kano State to allow the rule of law and not the rule of man. And I want to plead with the poor masses that at the end of the day, no rich man will fight for another rich man because of a poor man. They should allow peace to reign and allow politicians and the judiciary to sort things out. We still have hope in our judiciary because it's the last hope of the common man. Let it in reality be the last hope of the common man. Although we appreciate that the court is the court of law and not the court of morals or the law of emotion, the court of emotion. Even at that, they should factor the interest of the people in. It is the people that should elect their representatives and not the court electing the representative for them, although it should follow due process of law.
All right, now that's let's open our phone lines. Callers on our line 081-822-22205 and make your contribution. Let's call it again 081-822-22205 for you. Call us on our other line 090-3222-9797. Let's pick our first caller this morning. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning.
My name is, I'm calling from Carol.
Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you very much.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. How is the family?
Thank God, my brother.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Talking about what happened in Kano. Yes, you expect the losing side, to react. So yesterday we saw some videos of them burning some tires. That's it. But kudos to, APC. In Kano, it goes a long way, and thank God, just like our guest in the house said, it's not what the judges, it's what the wish of the people. But we can't away the law stands, and so be it. And congratulations to APC. And like he said, no, they have the right to appeal and then go further. But I want to say this, sir. Mohbad's wife went to somebody, son. You call his name, I wouldn't call his name again. For justice. Now, imagine a celebrity wife going to beg for justice. What happened to a man who didn't even know his left or his right? Who don't know where to go? Must we for justice before we get justice in this our country? I think it's a lesson to us. The law, enforcement agencies should rise up. If something happened to me or you, my people shouldn't come begging for justice. The people in authority should take proactive measure that will serve as deterrent to others. Make I stop here. God bless every positive thinking Nigeria.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you. All right. Now, that's the contribution of Mr. Kennedy. Why must we beg for justice? That's his point. That things supposed to happen naturally.
Well, for peace to reign in any society, there must be justice.
Of course.
It's the first law.
Of course. Hello, let's speak this caller again. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Fine, this is your regular caller.
Mr. Isashiku, yeah, I think you sound a lot better today. Please go ahead, make it short so we can pick other people's call.
I just laugh when I hear the judgment of Kano yesterday. I know it will happen. Gonduje is the chairman of the and he wants to show power. You know Kano well. He wanted to set Kano on fire how many times? Unconclusive election. He came again before the emir. He came again to instigate which parameters did the court measure that he removed 100 and something thousand votes that belong to an incumbent government because they did it in Imo, they want to try it in Kano. The education and the awareness in Kano and Imo is not the same thing. So anything that happens, the judge and the people that pass this judgment should be held responsible. We need peace. We don't want problem. May God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ashiku. This is something. I think it's quite something. All right, let's pick this caller again and see. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Ken.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, our analyst. My name is Alamin. It's been 2 days.
Yeah, Alamin. Well done. It's been 2 days, as you say.
Yes, thank you so much. On the judgment of in Kano yesterday, I'm not a lawyer, but one thing I know is that political power, is derived from constitutional legality, and it is the law courts that interpret it. When I saw the legal team of the NNPP, I was asking myself, why will an experienced Kwankwaso, be putting together such a very weak thing? And then in the law court, it's all about evidence, it is not about emotions or sentiments. And then it seems a lot of people still does not understand that your emotional sentiment doesn't matter before the court of law. It is your ability to prove your case beyond, conviction that yes, you truly, this is the position, and that is what the APC, camp has done. And then, they have an opportunity to appeal. The judgment does not warrant any violence of any form. I think they're in the right place where their grievances to be addressed. But once again, there's no victor and there's no vanquished. I think all of them are bona fide citizens and indigenous of Kano, and then they don't need to be in power to contribute their quota to the governance and then the progress of their state. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so very much, Alamin. Thank you for the contribution. All right. There's a lot of concern as regards to the judgment. Yes, Kanu's judgment yesterday. But the other aspect to it is the angle of the conduct and okay. Let's pick this caller. Let's see, because we have little. We don't really have much time. Hello, good morning.
Thank you. It's Clement from Malaba. My regards to Salam in the studio.
Thank you.
Quickly, on common judgment. You see, there is something I really want Nigeria to really defend from. Talking about Ganduje is a chairman, this will happen. I don't know whether Ganduje is one that constitutes the panel in Kano. I don't really see. Okay, what would we say when Natasha Apoti win her case in Kogi State? Then what do you tell? What do you tell the panel? You see, I think Nigeria should all these things. All you will have a look that because if it is not me, then I don't really get it. See, just like what Alamin said, I will continue to say this. We have been saying this on this same platform that it is not about emotion. It is about presenting your case and make sure you go by it according to what the law is. So if anybody is bringing all these things, I don't really see it as something that will really make this country move forward. So please, if it favors you, clap hands. If it doesn't favor you, also clap hands for the judiciary, because I don't think we as a people we know more than the judiciary. Thank you. Have a good day, my brother.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Clement. All right, that's the contribution of Mr. Clement. Okay, I think okay, it's not a message. Let's see. All right, Mr. You can respond, Mr. Samuel Salami.
Well, it needs no saying again that the court is not the court of emotion. It's not the court of sentiment.
But it is
the court of law.
The Kano people are so emotional about some of this.
Well, they may be emotional. Emotion has nothing to do with this in court. It is the court of law. And all you do in court is to proffer evidence. Place before the court your evidence. Bring your witnesses. Prove your case. And the court will look at the evidence and all you have brought. Cogent, verifiable evidence that will give you judgment in your favor. But if you don't do that, you have yourself to blame. Well, the era of brigandage, the era of thuggery, the era of burning houses is gone. It's gone forever, and it is not good for us.
All right.
It's not good. That's not the way to go. We should allow the court of law to do their job. And I'm pleading with the judges to please uphold the sanctity and integrity of the law court.
All right, that's the word of Mr. Samuel Salami this morning, and I think our time has been far spent so far, and we want to thank you, Mr. Samuel Salami, for being a part of the show this morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ekene.
All right, my advice is still, please, I'm begging the politicians to call your supporters to order. Please, let's not burn down our country. All right, try as much as you can to tell them that if you don't win today, you can win tomorrow. You can only stand a chance of being a leader in a peaceful environment and in a peaceful state or peaceful country. Please, let's call our supporters to order. It might be emotional, but please, let us not burn down the country or the state, please. The Kano State people, please remain peaceful and go about it. He who fights and run away lives to fight another day. Thank you so very much for being a part of our show this morning. My name is still Ekene Ezebwe. See you tomorrow and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.